Now listen, for this episode of Let's Talk Jinx, if you didn't know, Jinx has existed for 10 years as of next Tuesday, the 10th of October. Technically, if you want to include teasers before that too, as far back as the pool party login screen for 2013, graffitiing like Vi's loading page and wiki page. And so with that being said, before the 10th, since this is the episode that takes place before the 10th, I want to look at a video by Riot Games that is called 10 Years of Get Jinxed, the making of, with Fortiche. I'm pretty sure I botched that name like I always do, and it's kind of my thing to kind of botch names to make other people feel smarter for being able to pronounce names. That's kind of my thing. That's where ggGetJinxed comes from. It's a good game, like when you say GG, and then get Jinx, because I main Jinx, and that was a song. I know if you're only from Arcane, there's a couple things you might not know, and I feel like this video might cover it in terms of this video, as in Get Jinx, the music video, from being 10 years ago. And so what I'm going to do is I'm kind of react to this video. We're going to be stopping quite a bit. So if you want to watch the video yourself, that's the name of it I mentioned earlier, 10 Years of Get Jinxed, the making of with Fortiche, League of Legends, Riot Games music on the Riot Games channel. I have subtitles, but there's subtitles in the video, so I don't think I think I get to turn the subtitles off then. Hold on. And it is insane. One of the first things they talk about is the fact that it's been 10 years. A decade. A decade. Now, I know I'm older now, as most people are when 10 years go by. That's how aging works. But to think of a whole decade of Jinx. People might live to be 100. A whole 10th of your life, Jinx. Just think about that. He said, guys lost in thought, mentally rewinding the past 10 years. I realized my borders might make it hard to see the subtitles that I just turned off. My bad. Another thing that was insane about this is this was all over like feeds back in like 2013. When this came out, it's like a world song when it drops. Like the world song that just dropped right now, Gods, for example. This was like that. It was all over any feed. I wasn't, actively or like I'd say consistently playing League just yet. I started in season 1, technically. I consistently started by season 4, and it was because of this music video. It's part of why we're here today, actually, is this music video. I had friends that also weren't necessarily in the League, but loved this song and loved the character, what they saw in the video and stuff like that. And it's interesting because that means the reach that Riot had, it's kind of the same with things like KDA, how pop stars popped off. But Get Jinx was like that, kind of before all of those were like that. Was that bald Jinx? Can we go back real quick? Was that bald Jinx? Hold on, I gotta be quick with this. It was. Oh no. She looks like something out of iRobot. No one's gonna know that movie. It's a Will Smith movie. Never mind. The guns? Okay, that's actually a good one. There's a lot of starting and stopping, and I don't apologize. I warned. Oh, that's not a good face to rewind to. I'm gonna crop that out later. That's great. But we see a lot of the design choices they did for Jinx's character. Fishbones. We're gonna look at Fishbones right there, which in the music video is like silver, more of a silver color than the blue in game. Which is interesting. Maybe it's just that I'm colorblind and it's actually blue in both cases and I just can't see. But in the music video, the eyes were blue, and as you see right there, they're blue too, while usually in most of the cases, like the splash art, they're yellow. I wonder if Arcane will do anything about that too, because Fishbones looks a bit different in Arcane if you haven't seen Arcane yet. Pow Pow, the minigun. Which is interesting because miniguns are usually very heavy, and Jinx's weapons are heavy. It's part of why they say she has a slow move speed. But look at that minigun. It's like a pop-out minigun. That might be a bit more, convenient to carry around, I suppose, when it can fold and collapse. And the darn monkey. That monkey reminds me of the monkey in Toy Story 3. Just gonna put that out there. Oh, so they're the founders. Okay, by the way. Now, I'm gonna probably have to be reading some subtitles, so there'll be more pausing, and I apologize. Yeah, 10 years ago. It was 10. We had produced a short video clip for friends. We made it also to test the little things like the camera mapping. And Christina Link from Riot Games found it. I don't know how, we'll never know. He tried to contact us, but we never answered the phone at the time. Oh, they wrote, but you didn't wrote back? Alright, Geno Smiths. It's been a long time since we've been doing this style mixing 2D and 3D. We used to make our movies among ourselves, and it was the first time we put together a real team in order to give ourselves the means to make something in our own style. We had Jinx's design, a kid playing with deadly toys. She blows everything up, but she usually does it in a usual way. Okay. Sometimes the subtitles are nice and slow, sometimes they go by too fast. That's why I watch a dubbed anime, alright? It has to be fun. She was already in a psychosis. We thought, why don't we make a music video with different facets of Jinx, illustrated in different stages, a tableau. We called these scenes stage. We knew that we wanted, man, I'm sorry y'all, I'm falling behind. Making cinematic effects, hand filming, hell motion blurs, flares, camera travelings, and paintings. That's such a neat concept, because the thing about the Jinx music video, when you look at it, there is a style to it. Like Riot does different styles with different things, and the Jinx music video was definitely its own unique style, and it came out very well, especially during 2013. But I think it holds up today, and that's usually the thing about when it talks about works and art and stuff within the community. That's always talked about is like, how do things last? Not because they couldn't have been great for their time, but do they also hold up well? And I think Jinxed does. It's a bop regardless. But visually speaking, I think it also holds up for a couple of reasons, like a time capsule a bit. Because then you look at like Echo when he got his stuff 2 years later, and the whole Zaun thematic before Arcane. And I think there's a lot of traces of looking at this first, because Jinx, you know, it's from Zaun, if you didn't know. We knew that way back then too. And just looking at the style and how it mixed together and how they pulled this off, I think it went pretty well. It felt like both a music video and a video game, which I think maybe we're going to find out was their point, but I think that's really neat that they were able to blend that. And it blended pretty well, at least from my perspective. Right, like the paintings and the idea of using the paintings. They mentioned mixing the 2D and 3D, and it was something like 2D, something created in CGIs. And like this is Piltover right before Jinx blows up like a whole city block of it. And it looks great. Either it's painted or it's drawn or it's in CGIs. Yeah, and then you have like the explosion, you have the building collapsing in the background. There's like a feel to this. Like it's separated, but it's all together at the same time. We had to find a way. We didn't make a lot of tests because we didn't have a lot of time. Oh no. In order to focus on iconic shots, we really wanted to highlight the 2D effect. That's why we hired all these 2D artists. For the explosions, the colors to characterize this character. That's when we met the team that leads 2D VXX on Arcane. See, and then here we go. Like, remember, Arcane came out in 2021, but Arcane's been in the works for like nearly a decade. So while they were working on ggEtJinxed, they found the team that ended up doing the 2D VXX lead on Arcane. Just to give you like an idea of how long Arcade's been in the works too. But ggEtJinxed, and that's what I mean by the Zaun aesthetic. I think that's what we're talking about in terms of like the a bridging, a blending, a melding, if you will, a melting together. And it's really neat. This is a Jinx channel, so there's a Jinx bias too. So really, they couldn't go wrong with this explanation if they wanted to. We made earlier visual test. Jinx, but no ponytails. I was joking. I didn't know that was actually a thing. Actually, that looks like the Wanted poster. If you've seen the Wanted poster, and by the way, speaking of the new World's Anthem for 2023, Gods, Deft, when he's on his computer towards the beginning, it's like in the first minute, on his right is the Jinx Wanted poster, which I think is a nod, of course, to the fact that he's considered the best Jinx player in the world. So it's nice to see that a music video centered around Deft has Jinx mentioned in there somewhere. But this, what I mean is like the coloring. If you look at the Wanted poster, this kind of reminds me of the coloring and the facial expression of the Wanted poster. So we don't get here for quite some time. We thought she could look at the camera. We found funny she could ride the bombs like a surf because she's punk. That was an interesting choice too, like at the very beginning of it. And try to give her something special, we made her bite her own lips. Right there, there's a lip bite. And in the end, all the cosplayers always like that. Which is also another thing when you're designing a character, like in general, right? If you were supposed to design a character, how much of the character's design would be like completely whatever you want versus adding some realism in there in case you wanted to cosplay your own character or you wanted other people to cosplay your own character. That was the thing behind Helltaker, right? The dude that made Helltaker, Van Ripper, was like, I have a thing for like demon girls in suits and like proper dressed attire and stuff that doesn't seem to exist. So he made a game, and the whole point of making the game was to inspire artists to make a lot of art of the characters in the game. That's not what they did here with Jinx per se, even though Jinx ended up becoming one of the most popular champions, especially AD carry wise. But it is interesting to think about when you think about doing certain things and then afterwards be like, oh yeah, and cosplayers, you know, they actually like that we did this, or this thing is actually a lot more realistic than maybe we thought it was in design. And interesting to hear from artist perspective about that. And especially because like Jinx, and we'll talk about this. I guess we'll talk about this right now. When Jinx came out, the AMA and stuff, they don't describe her as like just a straight up villainous. A lot of people say, you know, Harley Quinn clone and stuff like that. It's more like a trickster archetype. In the AMA, they describe it more like D&D stuff. You know, you have your chaotic neutrals, you have your lawful good, stuff like that. And with Jinx, okay, straight up. If she was walking down an alley, I'll just quote the actual quote. Why not? That just make things easier. If she was walking down the alley with a knife and saw a random person, she's not going to stab them. She doesn't think that's interesting. She doesn't want to do that. She's not evil. But if that same person was standing on like a box of explosives and she had a rocket launcher in hand, she would definitely blow up that box of explosives without a care about the person on top. But not because of wanting to kill the person on top, because the explosion would be super cool. So when you have to cosplay somebody like that, and I guess you could still get away with just being crazy, adding even small things like the lip bite and stuff, I guess, was enough to help have some personality if like cosplaying crazy characters isn't your thing, because you're not particularly crazy yourself, but you like Jinx. Thought that was interesting. Trickster archetype, basically, with like a love for chaos. A chaos trickster, essentially. Could they do good things? I guess if there was explosions involved, since we got the Star Guardian Jinx, right? That's kind of the idea behind that. What if Jinx was still Jinx, but also technically a good guy, but also still Jinx? Because explosions. With glitter. This shot. You're having the surf in. That was such a good way to actually come in with thing. We made it over and over because it was a hard camera movement. I'm going to botch this name. Jerome, because I don't think it's Jerome, because there's no accent or anything over the E. Jerome? Do I roll the R? I don't think so, actually. Anyways, sorry, apologies. Did everything on that shot. I did work on the textures in the scene. I did textures on the bombs, and they looked good. Like they had the effects coming off of them and stuff. To me, the hardest one was the last shot with the traveling. Oh yeah, versus the giant monkey. The giant monkey. Yeah, the giant monkey. Which would be hard today. No, but the editing of the scene didn't work. Which maybe if we slow it down, we'll see it. But if we just let the scene play at normal speed, it turns out it's just fine. We didn't have any idea. We did have the idea of the monkey, right? Yes, we did. We thought we would need a small animal to express a bit of madness. And they did it before Toy Story 3, I believe. So, no? Maybe the monkey was in Toy Story. It's not the same monkey, so it's fine. Impression on gamers' minds, and later the monkey was, yeah, that monkey's in the Arcane show because it was in ggEtJinxed back in 2013. And that's the thing. Maybe I'll make a video at some point. There's some things Arcane changed. I'm not saying for the better or for the worst. You can find plenty of those videos out there that I don't care to get into. But there are differences that did exist back then that Arcane is different. And some people say it says Arcane is a different canon. I'm not entirely sure, given that when they updated Caitlyn, they gave her voice lines related to things in Arcane, I would say. So we'll see about that. But at the same time, it is interesting to see references and callbacks. And that was one of the things about Arcane. Is like you can enjoy the show having known none of this stuff. But if you do know all this stuff, you can point out certain things and be like, oh, I know that reference, or I get that. When I saw that monkey, I was like, that's the monkey from the music video. Now, that monkey ended up being really tragic in the show versus the music video, but let's not get into that too much. And in the shot, we had no storyboard. So, the shot I served... Oh, we shot Hervé in the morning. Today, I think it has aged a bit, but I still like some stuff in it. like the scene with all the explosions around her. Okay, so in their own opinion, they say it's aged a bit, and I mean, like, you know, it's been 10 years. That happens, right? People say the CGI in the first Michael Bay Transformers is really solid, but it's also been, you know, 16 years since then. And so why I make that comparison is you might, if you ask Michael Bay, maybe he might even say it's aged too, but a lot of people would say that holds up, and that's my opinion here. I think ggGetJinxed still holds up. I think it's still really solid. It's still a beautiful, yeah, like it's still a beautiful shot. Of course, it improved a lot of skill sets then, and we would change some things. That would be interesting. Bring the exact same squad back for the 10-year. So between now and October 2024, maybe that's too short a time, but just have them kind of like rework a music video. We rework champions all the time. That would be just interesting. It's no shade at the original. I just said it's aged pretty decently, but I'd be kind of curious. A lot of people improve on things in 10 years time. I'm still bad at League of Legends, but I'm a little bit better than I was 10 years ago. You know, you improve on something when you do it long enough eventually. Really do-it-yourself production, but the style was already there. What's cool about Freedom what was cool about the Freedom we had in the encounter with Riot Games that brought us to Arcane. Yeah, and so here we go, Arcane. Arcane's a prequel, by the way. I keep reiterating this, but people are like, even if it's different canons or if it's not, it's a prequel. There's a lot of things that happen in Arcane that all this is before, you know, League of Legends. Arcane is before ggEtJinxed, basically. By the time we get to Jinx and ggEtJinxed, like maybe Jinx is a bit more unstable in Arcane, so the trickster archetype thing is a little bit confusing. Basically, she'll get there eventually. She's not there yet in Arcane. We were kind of very well shown that, but she'll get there eventually, and that'll be interesting. It'll be just that transformation. Even this, I pause it here because like Jinx's outfit in Arcane, it's reminiscent to the outfit she eventually gets in League of Legends, which is again a prequel outfit. As cool as this outfit is, as some people have said, and some people say this even is a better outfit than her classic outfit. Me personally, if I was have to have my take, I like that it shows signs of before, right? Like the pants, those are definitely the same shorts, just ripped more. And I think that's cool because it's an evolution thing. I don't think if Jinx's design was going to get reworked, I would want the Arcane look to be her new look, only because I think Arcane represents a specific place and time for Jinx, a specific moment she was going through, and so the outfit reflects that. So even if they did change her current outfit for whatever reason down the road, I don't think you just make it the Arcane outfit. I think the Arcane outfit needs to be the Arcane outfit, and that's what part of what makes it special. Same with the other champions, right? There's the skins in game, right? There's the Vi, which is kind of reminiscent to her main classic outfit too. Same thing. I think that's a specific moment in time. Now, if they wanted to mix them, though, if they ever did, you know, quote unquote update Jinx's current design and wanted to mix it with parts of the Arcane outfit, that could be cool too. But I do think I would want Arcane to be distinct from all the rest of anything, because Arcane's kind of special. It kind of popped off, it did its thing, and I want it maybe to exist in that space by itself still. I just think that'd be kind of nice. People can disagree, and I think that's fine. I think that's why Fishbones looks like that. He hasn't quite gotten to where he is today yet either, and that's the idea, period. It's a building process. But also, yeah, so we go full circle. It's been 10 years now, and now we got Arcane Season 2 dropping in 2024, by the way. And it's just been a really interesting experience when it comes to this one champion in the game of 165 champions. Thank you, Jinx fans, for 10 amazing years. No, thank you. Because honestly speaking, I know I'm not as high on doing League content anymore. And what I mean is there used to be a time I had a creative streak. I'd say 2016 up through the tail end of 2018 was when I was really on it. 2019 downwards, especially not making the the League Partner Program for various reasons. And then hearing about the League Partner Program kind of imploding a little bit. So maybe that I dodged a bullet a bit. But at the same time, college ramping up, so it just kind of ate up so much of my time that I wasn't able to do a lot of the more creative stuff that I wanted to do anymore. And we kind of boiled it down to just doing the weekly Jinx videos. Because at the end of the day, this is a Jinx channel. That's what a lot of people are here for, is the weekly Jinx videos. So now I don't want to break that up by introducing more stuff back and ruining that flow. But at the same time, this is how it started even way back then, was behind Jinx, doing Jinx content, and then I would just kind of cover some of everything. But every Wednesday since 2016 would always be Jinx. That's why this is episode, I think, 358. We've done 358 straight weeks of Jinx content. I'm about to Unis Honest this. We're going all the way to 366 because technically Unis Honest was during a leap year. So they had 366 videos they had to do daily. We're not doing daily. We're not doing that, even though next year is a leap year if I wanted to take that challenge. But no, I guess my thing is like, so even though I've definitely fallen off, there was a time that people considered me like the Jinx YouTuber. And it wasn't because I was the best ranked Jinx in the world. It was just because of all the different kinds of Jinx stuff I would do. Nowadays, fortunately, there's a lot of you in the comments, and there's a lot of you that even started your own channels and stuff. I've seen y'all. I've subscribed to some of y'all. And it's great because that's also part of what the experience was to do, was to inspire other people to make their own Jinx content. I'm not necessarily saying I'm the sole inspiration. Some people, their inspiration was Jinx as well. And then seeing that someone else was doing Jinx content might have just been the extra push for some of them to, that's what they've said. Their words, not mine. It was like I was already probably going to do it, and then seeing that someone was already doing it and seeing like the way to do it and seeing the person being okay with someone else doing stuff too was like cool. Because for some reason that was a thing amongst other champions. It was like, oh no, they're like, now this happens with Tryndamere, but they're the Tryndamere player. I can't do Tryndamere because that person will get mad, and the person will get mad. It's like, nah. Everybody go make Jinx content for the 10th year anniversary. Go ahead. If you have a YouTube channel, go make a Jinx video. If for some reason you needed my blessing of all blessings, and not like August Browning's blessing on Twitter. It's Twitter. Yeah, then here's it from me. Go make Jinx content. Go ahead. Make it the silliest, wackiest, craziest, tricksteriest, arcanist, whatever. Go ahead. Heck, I might try to pump out more Jinx stuff between now and October 2024. Because the 10th year anniversary is next week, but technically the 10th year encapsulates, you know, from October all the way until next October. So we'll see. I'll maybe get some more Jinx-centric stuff out than just the Let's Talk Jinx on Wednesdays. Don't get your hopes up too much, only because I don't know if I got it in me anymore. But we definitely got a lot of Jinx going forwards, and that's because a lot of people like Jinx. She's one of the most popular champions in the game. That's why she got her own series called Arcane. All right, so with that being said, we're going to actually finish out the video. Give them the 100% watch time here. Hold on. There's still 10 seconds, and I'm real big on watch time as a YouTuber, so let's give them the full watch time of this video. Hold up. And there we go. That's the end of the video. So where I was going with this was, yeah, good. Go out there. Here's the original video, by the way, over down the corner, and it has 125 million views in 10 years, which is amazing, to say the least. Perfect example. Okay, I wanted to mention this real quick. Jinxie Vader, right? Oh, dang, 5,000. Let's go. They're over here doing their own thing. I've seen them sometimes from time to time too. I'm subscribed, as you can see over here as well. Or I guess I'm subscribed on ggGetJinxed. I technically am on my second channel right now, which is related to ads, which I'm not going to get into in this video because it has no importance. But where, okay, maybe I'll briefly mention it. So ads. Sometimes I'll go on a second channel just to check what kind of ads appear on my video. Because that happens sometimes with YouTube, and that's one of the things when you get to a point where you get ads, you want to make sure the right kind of ads are popping up on your stuff. You don't want, like, horrific ads popping up on your videos. So sometimes some of the ads on my videos are kind of questionable, I'll be honest. But there's someone that has been, I've seen constantly for years, and they're doing their stuff over here, and they're doing, like, things like, hello? Can I not work YouTube as a YouTuber suddenly? Scroll down. Like, if all Jinx skins had their own theme song, and I'm not going to play it, so you guys are forced to go watch it yourself. That's how that works. We drive traffic. By all means, go ahead and go do your own stuff. Go ahead and do your own stuff and succeed. Go ahead and hopefully have some of the best times making videos and content around a crazy, insane champion that at their core wants to have fun with explosions and stuff, just like we have been doing over here. I was so confused. I'm like, why am I not logged into my own channel? It's like, that's why I'm not currently there right now. However, word of advice if I can, avoid making any Jinx-related Optimus Prime videos, because that video unfortunately popped off, and I'm still assuming that's why they took away monetization, because this is the bulk now of my watch time, and this is not original content. So, you know, our thumbnails have been all over the place because they also wanted to hit me by saying my thumbnails were a bit too similar, and like, maybe. So when you're doing Jinx stuff, maybe make sure to have Jinx front and center and rotate through different Jinx splash arts. Apparently this wasn't the play, even though we have a ton of ones which are, I'm getting on a side note here, but my point is, if there was a little bit of advice I could give for thumbnails, not for Jinxed Vader, but just in general, just make sure they're different enough. That's why I do paint for some. I go and literally paint and just try and draw the best that I can, and then call it good. And other times we do other stuff. Jinxed Vader, by the way, is what I'm going to mention here, and I'm going to end the video. Thank you so much for watching this video. Go watch their videos. Go watch every Jinx video you can from now until the end of time. And who knows, maybe I'll do a Jinx video on both channels. So this is this channel, the channel that I'm currently on, which is kind of the Let's Play channel, which does have League stuff on it from time to time. Maybe I'll do something Jinx related for both channels, which could be interesting. I don't do a terribly ton amount of stuff, but I do have the Jinx rap that I did for the League 10-year anniversary. I made a Jinx rap, so maybe we'll do something Jinx related over on this channel, and obviously ggGetJinxed as well. But yeah, just go find all Jinx content, consume it, love it, like it, subscribe to it even, and that's it. We're gonna get out of here for this video. So thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to all of these videos. Not here, I just mean like all the Jinx videos you now go and find. Go forth, my children, if you will. But it's been a great experience. So I don't know what video will be next, because I can have a lot of kinks. So until this time, take care. ggGetJinxed. Thank you for watching, and enjoy pizza responsibly. Bye-bye. Yeah, Gamerson. It should be too easy to find. We'll see.